another NCU episode of Theory Battle.
If this is your first episode, here's the step. We go head-to-head with two different movie theories and break them down for you.
Then in the comments section, you guys decide which one of them is the most likely to be true. You get to be the judge, jury, and executioner. Definitely please only do those first two.
Before we dive into the theories, be sure to hit that subscribe button.
I don't know.
Oh, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's based off.
I don't know.
The Men in Black. That's exactly how it is. Of illegal immigrants being stopped.
I don't know.
And having these two Men in Black show up. Hey, that's the name of the thing.
It's the name of the thing.
Cops, hey, we're from Division 6 and we need to take one of these illegal aliens. The cops let them? Yeah, but after the Men in Black leave, the cops are like, there is no Division 6. This is BS. So why did they even let them take the guy? I don't know. Fair enough. So then it's going to turn out that this illegal alien is actually an illegal alien disguised as an illegal alien. Right, okay. Do you get it? Yeah, I get it. There's a double meaning. Yeah, pretty straightforward. But why would he even disguise himself as that? Well, because he's trying to sneak into the United States. Wouldn't it make more sense for him to disguise himself as an American? Well, yeah, but then I wouldn't get to make that super clever illegal alien joke. Oh, okay, gotcha. You really like that joke. So anyway, then one of the cops sees the alien because the Men in Black only took it like 10 feet away, and that sends it into a murderous rage. Why? Because I want the situation where the Men in Black shoot the alien and the cop gets covered in slimy goo. Did you say slimy goo? I did. Oh, slimy goo is like the funniest thing you could cover someone with. Well, I'm glad you said that because we're going to have a ton of slimy goo in this movie. It's going to be the main gag in a shocking number of scenes. Hell yeah, that automatically makes scenes funny. It sure does. So we're going to have slimy goo splashing all over the place every chance we get throughout this whole thing. That's not going to get old at all. I know. Wow. Anyway, so then because the older agent was slow to drop his gun, he's going to retire.
Turned some of the pumps
so the
around
younger
and back
agent
around
Kay
and
is gonna
lifted
use
it
this
up and it's
neuralizer thing to
working.
wipe his memory when they get back home from the desert. No, right then and there.
Must be.
It's super inconsiderate, but okay. And so then the main character is this New York cop James, who's being considered as the replacement for that old guy. Why is he being considered? Because he chased down a bad guy who turned out to be an alien. Why was he chasing him? We'll never find out, but he turned out to be an alien. Did he know that he was an alien when he started chasing him? No, but he chased him down for a very long time. So a police officer just doing his job was enough to get him considered for the Men in Black? Apparently so, sir. So then James enters this testing period where all the other candidates are like super serious military types. So I imagine it's going to be tough for a New York cop to be chosen for a secret government organization. Actually, it's going to be super easy.
Trying to make the next layer so you can't swing down from it.
So what are the tests? Well, the first test they had to fill out these papers inside these weird egg chairs, and James went and grabbed the sticks
better than a
The
Elytra.
second one is this shooting range thing. The other shooting the alien.
Just zooms like go straight across wherever you
Yeah, he's
point
like,
the
this
thing
little
at.
girl is in a bad part of town.
Just
She's
go.
holding books to
You gotta learn to
Look,
use it.
so you got to realize that the cursor is where you go,
Exactly
where you go, and look, you can go into the wall and go slow.
Sister's books or something. Well, the Men in Black are looking for someone that would shoot a little girl in the face.
Go straight up out of a
And those
hole.
are the two tests. The stealing and the child killing. That's it. Wow, it feels like they should
Then the
definitely have the
Elytra, it's
agents
like
go through more rigorous testing.
Psycho.
Yeah, you think so, but that's literally all they need to see. Well, okay, so then James is going to become one of the Men in Black. Wow. Yeah, they show him around the office and they slowly erase every letter from his name except the first one. Very dramatic use of the delete key. Yeah,
See,
then he
that
touches
pump
this
might
ball
be
that
trying to
bounces around
pump
the
it back
office and
up
destroys a bunch
with
of stuff.
the
Why would they leave a
connected
dangerous ball like that? Just
power
running around?
connected. It might pump. No, but I'm saying when it goes down, it's pumping up. When you put it down to pump infinite lava into your thingo.
Back up a little bit.
And when that's connected, it means it's pumping upways to bring the lava to you.
The pipe.
Okay.
The pipe has to be up off the ground to pump in. When it touches the ground, it thinks it's pumping out.
Killed was actually the emperor of this alien race called the Aquilians. Gotcha. And the emperor had this
Yeah, because it doesn't need power going, because the power going in is these pumps here.
Alien's corpse to the morgue.
These.
Of course, they always bring dead people's
These
heads to the
pumps you're pumping it down, and when you
touches the ground.
connect it, it pumps.
Look on the picture on the animation.
Her name is Yanni.
They lift it up one when they pump it in.
Right, Yanni, that's what I said. Anyway, so then the Arquillians tried
On the animation of the pump.
Oh, they've got a pump.
Go on there.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
It's
so I
got,
imagine the men in black send out all their men to try to save the
The
day.
pumping
Literally just
out
two main
was down on the
characters,
bottom, and then
Bruce
pumping
Training.
in was
You
up
kinda
one
think they'd
block.
put more resources on something like that. Yeah, you'd think so. So how did J and K find out about all this stuff? Well, they go visit the exposition pug. The exposition pug? Yeah, it's this little pug that K shakes until it shouts out all the
Have you got
exposition we need to
minecart
move
going?
forward. Well, that pug sounds like a screenwriter's best friend. It sure is. So then the bug tries to escape on a ship, but the men in black shoot it down. Okay. Yeah, and so they're like, put your hands on your head. And he's like, okay. But then he slowly rips off the farmer's skin and reveals that he's a super big cockroach monster. Why hasn't he already taken off his human skin if he's trying to escape? So we can have this big reveal. And why didn't J and K shoot him as he was taking the skin off? So we can have this big reveal. Okay. So then the bug swallows their gun.
He's turning into a giant monster so you don't kill him
Have teeth? Oh yeah, it has.
while he's
massive
turning.
teeth, But apparently those are just for show because it swallows K whole. Pretty lucky. Yeah, and so then K shoots the bug from the inside and they save the day. Wow. And then K revealed that he wasn't actually training Jay as a partner, but as a replacement. Wait, what? Yeah, pretty cool, right? So now after like 2 days on the job, Jay has to find and train a new partner? Yeah. Wouldn't it have made more sense for K to train 2 people instead of just Jay? Oh yeah, I guess that would have made a lot more sense. But we'll see. So what do you think of the
Yeah, I
movie?
think
Well, it
it's
sounds like a
cool.
lot of fun, and we should totally get Will Smith to play in
Didn't have
this.
enough
Oh yeah,
time
people
to go
really
back
like
through
punching
the
and punch
photo.
aliens in Independence Day. We could totally cash in on
And then when
that.
it's
Yeah,
full,
because
it just
you can
bounces
make
back
a theme
there.
song. Right, you could literally just rap about things from the movie. Right, you could be
Yeah,
like,
that
here's
text
some
go
audio
forward.
commercials.
Stop it on the other side.
Make people
Nah, it's cool. We'll stop
No,
it.
it won't unload. It'll keep just doing that same thing. There's no room for it to unload.
We're gonna have to make sure to
It
get
keeps
Britney
just-
Spears and spin-offs for sure.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
You have room to unload? The tank.
If you
tank,
did let me know
the big tank.
what other movies
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
like to see pictures
Yeah.
for. We also have a lot
If it hasn't got room to unload, it all fucking goes
I'm at 250.
Twitter,
That's
just start giving all
fun.
time of
It's got one vote at 200.
Bye bye.
200. Does it lift up itself or not?
What? No.
The pump.
It doesn't matter if it goes under the lava. I had mine right up in the air with a big fucking tower falling down. When it stops, you can go down there, and you can see it's all spluttering out the end. Something's gone wrong with it. Love doing stuff with lava. It's crazy. Fucking incredible Minecraft. You can put it in a bucket and burn yourself with it. That's about it. Yay! Fun times! Lava times! And even if it's not deep enough, you can just build glass walls up, blobbers. And make it high, go up higher. It should be way enough. It's not that. It's not as much as you think. I only filled up the bottom of that little tank that I made. Barely filled it up. It's your boy Waddles.
Just be Waddles. Diamonds are your best friend, or you want them to be. No matter what your current situation is, if you like diamonds, this is the video for you. With the 1.19 update, diamond mining has changed again. In this video, we're going to take a look at diamond mining and talk about some of the best ways to do it. Before we get too busy, make your way stop at the like button, and if you're new here, hi, welcome. If you'd like to become genius, then subscribe. It's a great idea. Everybody knows what a diamond is, so fortunately we can skip that. Check out this chart right here. This is the current war generation chart as of Minecraft 1.19. This chart is the first big guide when it comes to
Jesus for the schematic cannon.
broken down into
Make
words
the
and simple
farms.
words of that diamond generation. How does it work? Well, diamonds generate.
Make them, but without the plants in them, Bobbers.
Diamonds are going to
And
get
then,
more common the deeper you go in your world.
Or
When you
make
take a look
each
at
one
Bedrock
with the
and
different
Diamond
plants in it.
side, there are actually some minor differences between diamond generations.
Make
When
a
it
tree
comes to
farm,
diamonds,
schematic it with oak, take the oak off, then schematic it with the other one Bobbers.
Meaning you're gonna
You know
have to
what I
take
mean?
fun. You know how common word generates more commonly in
All
something
you have to do is change the trees.
Diamonds aren't like that. They have no connection to biome at all. Diamond ore generates at world generation. When diamond ore generates, it can actually replace a couple blocks in the game. Diamond ore will replace stone, deep slate, granite, andesite, diorite, and tuff if it's in the way. Unless you're on bedrock. On bedrock, tuff can't be replaced by diamond ore. So that's great, but what does it all mean for us? Well, it means that our journey today begins down at Y14. Diamond generation begins at Y14 and gets more common the deeper you go. Just in case you don't know or something, you'll need at least an iron pickaxe to mine diamonds. So diamonds get more common the deeper you go. As you move past the stone range, diamond ore will turn into deep slate diamond ore. Now there is no difference at all between these two blocks except for texture. As you go deeper and deeper and deeper, eventually you're going to hit bedrock. Bedrock starts to generate at Y59, or when you're standing on Y59. That's something that you're going to want to keep in mind, especially when you're branch mining for diamonds. So there's our quick intro, a little bit of explanation. Now let's talk the methods. We're going to talk about 5 different methods in today's video. We won't be ranking the methods in today's video because they're all pretty good. Depending on the farms and things that you have in your world, some methods might be easier than the other methods. The first method, the most basic, is plain old caving. Haha, yeah, shocking indeed. Believe it or not, some of the best ways to find diamonds is to, to look for diamonds. Ever since the revamp of the caves in 1.18, this method is actually kind of enjoyed, at least in my opinion. So for method number 1, you're going to want to look at grabbing supplies like this right here. Basically, this is just your basic mining supplies. You're going to want to have whatever supplies you like to have, usually when you're mining. Now, if you're going the caving route for diamonds, my biggest tip for you is find a big cave. Finding a big cave, like the one that we're in right now, is going to make your life a whole lot easier. You see, it's pretty straightforward if you think about it a little bit. A big cave has more blocks exposed to air. Unfortunately, not every diamond generates exposed to air, but if you get exposed to more blocks to air, then the likelihood of finding diamond ore definitely increases. To make your life easier, when plain old caving looking for diamonds, try and find a cave that is really big and open, and a cave that is really big and open, and also this cave is at negative 49, that's insanely deep. Remember, the deeper you go, the more diamonds it generates. If your cave is big, open, and really deep, it's almost guaranteed, 100% for sure, there'll be at least a little bit of diamonds inside the cave. While you're down inside these deep caves looking for diamonds, if you come across a patch of gravel, it's a brilliant idea to mine this patch of gravel out. A lot of the diamonds that generate in your world will generate fully blocked in. With a couple torches and a shovel, rigging gravel is insanely easy. Just like all of the other methods in this video, taking out gravel is not a surefire way to find diamonds, but it definitely is a lot easier than finding out stacks and stacks of deep for hours. Find the big deep cave, mine out the gravel. My third tip for you when it comes to mining for diamonds, the plain old-fashioned way, is the F3 trick. If you're on Java Edition and you find lava deep in a cave, hit F3 and look around at the lava. Check out this chunk of information right here. That chunk of information is telling me exactly what I'm looking at. Okay, so this is actually kind of crazy. Check this out. Over here we have tuff, but then over here, actually, diamond ore, which is absolutely amazing. That's telling me that there is diamond ore right below this lava. If I go ahead and remove the lava, maybe place some blocks and block it in, dig these blocks out, there should be, yep, there definitely is, diamonds right there, down below the lava. That's not too bad. If you enjoy exploring your world, you know, actually maybe take it easy. Slowly, this is a great method for you. I highly recommend finding your first diamond in the world with this method. It's neat.
What certain range is packaged that help you look prices go money process. Here to help you get to what
I highly recommend finding your first diamond in the world with this method. It's the easiest and cheapest. The next method on our menu today, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's way more safe. Branch mining. Diamonds generate most commonly deep. Why waste time mining not deep when you could just mine deep and maybe, if you're lucky right away, find diamonds? The deeper you go, the more diamonds you should find, right? Well, yes, but also actually no. Remember the blocks that I talked about that diamond can replace? Well, bedrock wasn't one of them. Diamond ore is not going to replace bedrock ever. So if you're going to branch mine, skip the bedrock list. That means to find the most diamonds possible, you need to mine in a layer where there is
Oh,
not
sent obsidian, you fucking cunt. How much fucking shit water is there at the top?
entire world to mine diamonds in Minecraft 1.19. Branch mine. So if you're gonna set up a branch mine, first thing first, go down to y -59.
How
Like,
water
make sure
can
you're
you then?
standing
At the
on
top, I
y
was fucking
-59.
putting
This
the
is going to be
chain
the layer
out
right above the
there.
pepper. You're standing on this layer,
Put
you will
water
need to
in
set
there.
up then it's more of the
Oh, I was doing something. I didn't fucking realise.
wide main tunnel and then branch
You already
off
done
that.
it.
That's how really is that you can start making small branches. I like to personally make my branch lines a little bit nicer, so typically where I start is down at -59, make a 3x3 hole. Nice thing about this, while you're getting down the hallway, if you're lucky, you might be able to actually find some diamonds right off the bat, which is cool. Always, whenever you find diamond ore, dig around the diamond ore. Diamond ore just creates some flashes. So sometimes these flashes are a little bit disconnected, as you can see there. That's the second piece of diamond. That's amazing. Look easy there, but don't get your hopes up. That was luck. Strip mining, branch mining, whatever you want to call it, this is going to take some time. To actually get this method most efficiently, I recommend grabbing a couple different things. Thing number one, torches. You're going to light up your mine, bugs don't spawn. This will make it a little bit safer. Thing number two, food. You're going to be down here doing a lot of work, digging. That's going to eat up your hunger. You're going to need to eat every once in a while. A good pickaxe. Branch mining can take a little bit of time. Running around inside of a cave is way less expensive, especially when it comes to pickaxes. Enchantments are technically totally your call. I recommend having a pickaxe that looks something like this. Unbreaking 3 is very, very important. If you want to make this pickaxe last forever, mending, and silk touch. Having silk touch will keep your inventory clear. Alternatively, instead of silk touch, you can go with shelter boxes, under chests, just extra chests, something like that. So your branch mine, it begins at -59, then hallways. You're going to need to make hallways branching off of this thing. The hallways should still be on -59, maybe 2 blocks tall if you like, maybe 3 blocks tall, totally your call. Now the hallways space them out at least 3 blocks, but you could honestly probably go something more like 5 blocks. It's all totally up to you and how much patience you have. Patience is makes the
Don't bang her.
live for this method.
You gotta go 2 blocks over. You have to. You got no choice. You'll miss the ones in the wall.
All there really is to this method is
He doesn't even know what he's saying.
make the hallways 2 tall, 3 tall, like
Gross.
hallways out 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 5
Gross.
blocks. Again,
He doesn't even know what he's saying.
one other tip that I do have for you with branch mining is if you need to compare forces because they're both out here, most tops out of love your light level of 0 to 1.
He doesn't know what he's
This
saying.
is pretty easy to achieve.
You gotta go 2 blocks over so that you can see every face.
Never touch 0. If you'd like me to make a video that goes a little bit more in depth when it comes to branch mining for diamonds, let me know down below. Let's move on. This next method is basically back to the basics, except this time we spice it up a little bit with night vision mining. This method is actually pretty similar to the first method that we talked about. This method will find us back down in some of the biggest, deepest caves in our world. But before we do that, we need supplies. At the point of the game where you're brewing up a ton of potions, you're probably going to have a better pickaxe, so that's cool. And then your other basic mining supplies. So torches, armor, that's I highly recommend pulling off this method with potions of night vision that last for 8 minutes. Now, for those things, you're going to need these materials right here. We start with blaze powder, netherwork, water bottles, and some broom sand. That'll give us offer potions, combine that with golden parrot. That'll give us night vision for 3 minutes, combine that with redstone dust, and then we end up with 3 night vision potions for 8 minutes. That's perfect. First things first, locate a big cave that is deep, where diamonds are most common and explosive. After you've located that big cave, it's night vision potion time. Now when you brew your night vision potions, you're going to do 3 of them, which means 24 solid minutes of mining. Drink the night vision potion, look around, and look at how obvious diamonds are. With night vision potion, you can easily run through this cave, look around at the ceiling, the floor, everything, and find every single diamond like really quick. A little bonus for this one too is going to make all of the ores down in this deep dark cave really obvious. Like, check that out, gold. That's it. That's literally all there is to this method. Drink the night vision potion, run around, look at the ceiling specifically. Usually, yes, you see. Usually you would miss the ceiling. It's so tall and dark. Yup, that's never going to happen now. That's it. Drink the night vision, run around, and look at the cave. Now, I do recommend bringing some torches with you for this method, even though you don't need torches to see anymore. Torches will definitely come with the spawn, so that's an out. And that's it. That's literally it. That's all there is to this method. Drink the night vision, run around inside the cave, locate the diamond. Also, maybe locate other cave entrances that you might have otherwise missed. And profit. That's all there is to it.
It does turn to obsidian, the lava source trick. You can make there on the nozzle. That was all full of lava, obsidian.
Lost money. Supplies for this method. Of course, as always, we start with basic mining supplies. Good armor, pickaxe, things like that. This time around, though, add moss blocks, bone meal, and some kind of good hole. Here's my home with efficiency 5. Efficiency 5 technically not necessary, but it's going to make things way faster. Step 1 gets the
Don't worry,
Step
it'll
2
fix
finds
itself.
big deep cave. You know,
I
something
made
like
some
cave breaker.
holes in it
Yeah,
and patched
yeah.
them.
Down. Step 4, bone meal
Is it
moss.
going?
Yeah.
Keep bone meal in the moss all over the place.
It needs
Spread
to-
stuff around. It's going to take a little bit
It
of
just
time,
fixes
but-
it so that all the holes wherever they are
It can get a
doesn't.
little bit annoying
I
because you can't
put
bone
blocks
meal
I fell in and I had to put blocks to get out.
so you're gonna have to break
And
some of those things.
it made holes in it and they just went zoom and just sealed up.
So what multiple happen. But be careful, if you place the torch on
Just
the
like
ground,
that. Just
like
all
an
sealed
block,
back
then
up.
that actually can't turn into moss. So maybe torch is something like the wall or something. Anyways, go down to the cave, bone meal, significant amounts of clay, and then it's hoe time. Grab the hoe and start insta mining. The hoe is going to mine out all of the moss blocks instantly if it has a 55 diamond, and maybe, if you're lucky, diamonds. But also keeping it real here, unfortunately, sometimes you will not find any diamonds. You'll end up with a big area that you dug out with tons of moss blocks all over the place. This method plays off of the fact that sometimes diamonds generate not exposed to air. An easy way to expose a lot of blocks to air very, very quickly that weren't exposed to air initially is moss. All you need to do is grow the moss, use the hoe, and look at that, dig out the blocks. Diamond ore every once in a while. This is a really cool, unique way of mining blocks out. And it's also pretty efficient too. I mean, compared to how slow Deep Slate actually mines, like, look at that.
You could run through the big cave and moss and bone meal the whole big
Now, the
cave.
deeper you go with this method, as
Hole?
always, the more diamonds
9 by 9, 4 times.
Let's say
9 by 9. With the thing just straight down. You know how quick I dug it? With the thing? Yeah, fucking dig a whole chunk out in no time. It's quicker than what I did that. Digging out all that was quicker to do that. To just go straight down.
That means maybe skeleton farm first and then the hoe.
Was there any lava there?
Oh, one bit underneath there. It doesn't have to go right to the bottom. So it's got a bit underneath it and the bedrock's there and it's got a bit of lava there. But
We dug it out to the lava, so there was already some there.
But I didn't want to have it too low in the ground.
Doesn't matter how diamonds. I could do an entire second video on mining for
I
diamonds.
wanted it a bit high so I
One of the
can put a
great ways to
glass
mine for
roof on
diamonds
it.
is dive mining. Dive mining is a little bit more dangerous though if you're not geared up.
You gotta
The
put a
whole area
glass
is
roof
mostly
on it. Do you know what I
composed
keep
of
doing?
generation is completely
Flying into it.
water is involved. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Because it's so big. Yeah, and you know how you can't see where you're landing, sort of?
Wake
And I
up,
fly
break
over, and then I look down, and I'm going in the lava, and I have to look back up and go, ah!
Dark mining.
Out of
This
it.
one again, it starts
What's
with basic
underneath
mining
it?
supplies,
Something's
jumps over to a
underneath
home,
it.
make
What?
it really a good home, some wool blocks, and the deep dark biome. If you're
What's
on the
that
surface
bouncing
stuff looking for the
around?
deep dark biome, a great spot to start.
Or is that
Go
the
up.
lava
If
filling
you're
up?
stuck and really can't find it, I go into
Oh look, you can see the lava filling up.
Yeah, hang on, the thing,
I'll
yeah.
find everything in 1.19.
Press shift and minus or
Right
plus.
down here inside of this cave is the rock. It's a great
Zoom
sign.
in.
So first things first, find the deep dark biome. Second, find a big cave again. Common theme here. Now that I found this big deep dark cave, I'm gonna want to look around and watch out for shriekers. Shriekers are a big problem with this method. Find a big deep dark biome, locate the shriekers. Then it's a great idea to move over to those shriekers and take them out. When you're trying to take these things out, consider a home. They mine
It's up
fast.
to that.
If you find yourself in a little bit more of a difficult situation, kind of like this right here, as you can see a shrieker right there and sensors right there, that's a big problem. Wool block. Place wool blocks down strategically to cut out vibrations. That, or just mine the shrieker right away. That'll work too. Once you've made sure that an area is clear of shriekers, it's time to start mining the blocks. The blocks on the ground, the spell blocks, they mine so quickly with a hoe. Get a good hoe, maybe diamond efficiency 5, and you can insta-mine all of these blocks. Insta-mining all of these blocks is going to expose a ton of other blocks to air that weren't exposed before. Some of these blocks, maybe if you're lucky, are going to be diamonds. If they're not diamonds, on the bright side, you're going to get an absurd amount of experience. Now, if your hoe has mending, you could do this literally all day long until this biome is completely gone. Unfortunately, it's never going to be a 100% success thing. It's completely up to world generation, but this is so easy. You don't even have to think while you're doing this. You just run around and dig out the blocks. Definitely cannot stress this enough. Watch out for the shriekers inside of this biome. Very bad, and if one goes off, you actually have a quick second to run over to it and take it out. Watch out for the worm. Once you eliminate the shriekers, mining for diamonds and some of the deep dark biome with a home is not only insanely easy, but also pretty safe too. Skulk or not, hostile mobs won't spawn inside of this spot. There's nothing to complain about here. Aside from the worms, the method is safe, the method is insanely easy. Like, you don't have to think about it. You get diamonds, and you get tons of experience too. This is great. The method is great, and depending on how you run things, maybe still touch on your home, you'll end up with a bunch of blocks too. Diamond mining, some of the best ways possible in 1.19. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it helped you out. If it did, take a quick second and drop a like. It's so simple and it helps me out.
Patience.
A brand new Minecraft update came out today, but you don't need to care about any of the features in it. Instead, you need to know what happens when you pick them.
Well, that's hung up.
Listen now to a free hot app.
Ancient city. Who built it? What happened to it? What is the warden? And where does the portal go? I am here to answer none of these questions. I'm just here to restore the city. In all seriousness, I love the ancient city. It is a very awesome place. Since the first time I saw it, I wanted to restore the city to its former glory. I actually played for 100 days doing exactly that in survival mode. You guys might want to get out and watch afterwards if you like. But I have returned once more. Just this time, I'm in creative mode, and together we're gonna flip this place and I don't know, sell it for double the value. Yes. So, I just loaded up a random seed and teleported to the nearest Asian city. All the cities are the same, but this one seems fine enough. So, where do I begin? Where do I begin? I guess the most reasonable thing would be by removing all the scope and other scope blocks. Yeah, that would be a good start. So I replaced all the scope blocks with deep plates and other blocks with just air. And just look at all of the scope disappearing. It's actually very satisfying to look at. And this place, wow. I mean, just look at this place. It already looks much better, and we have barely started. Okay, so before we move on, there's one thing I quickly would like to do first. And that is to increase the ceiling height. It's not terrible right now. There are just certain places, and especially around the central portal, that I would like to have a higher ceiling, so that the portal will be clearly visible from any direction in the city. And instead of everything being deep slate and dark, I used some dripstone blocks. But this is just a start. I'm not finished here. I'm going to return to the ceiling later in the video and make it more pretty, and that is going to be pretty nice. Okay, so let's actually restore something, and I will begin with something simple, and that is these columns next to the city entrance. The goal here is not to change the structures, just mainly adding these blocks. Still, I would like to put some life to it, but I did add some tiny extra details such as these new trapdoors. I don't know, I kind of like them. They might become a theme down here in the ancient city. Let us continue working on the city entrance. And I began by fixing the main central path, even through some wood flooring in here too. Then I actually added grass blocks to the ground, and it changed everything. I mean, it looks so different and nice now. And then I thought it would be cool if we had a big water fountain here at the edge. I mean, it's very likely that the ancient city people had access to water. They used to have water here, and now there's just one final thing to do, and that is to fix the scouting tower. Just look at how it used to be and how it is now. That is a big transformation. The next thing I want to tackle are the city walls, and they are all over the place down here. But once I've restored a single piece, I can just copy and paste it to the other sections. There was also a really cool gate bridge here that was mostly intact, so that didn't take long to restore. And next to the walls was a polo statue that I also restored and rotated in a better position. Now this corner of the city is complete. Before I moved on, I returned back to the entrance pillar and added a blue frame to the top of all of them. Since there's blue frames on the portal, I thought it would be cool with some actual blue frames up here too. I kind of broke the whole rule here in this next. So I took the down wall section and top of this part of the wall. So I believe they can build something else originally. I was not supposed to do that, but I really wanted to have a roof on here. I do something that was inspired and looked similar to a first structure. So nothing too fancy. And I may have built a long road too. I don't know, there might have been plenty of roads and paths here in the city before it got destroyed and infested its coal. I'm looking forward and I started to change the position of the wall here to fit with the previous area, and I made it one boat frame. Also added along the tiny river, just to make it nicer. Then I moved and began restoring a new structure called the barracks. Again, I'm also adding rocks to the first section and adding tiny extra details. and this thing is coming together. Then I also placed down a ruin that I believe used to be a house at some point. There we go, we've got a barracks and a house here. The barracks is a very cool structure. It has 2 entry points, 2 chefs, a skeleton stone, do you believe that? And a nice portal statue. The room that I'm coming into a house also has a chef. I even placed a new carpet in the floor. You can find this carpet here in the city, in places where they actually don't fit. So I imagine the people here took the carpet from the house and used it to sneak around in the city. So I realized that my Asian city was actually missing a couple of structures, and I would like to have all of the main structures here in my city. So I decided to do away with the theater mode. And I found an Asian city. I don't know what to say. I need you guys to tell me. I found an Asian city that had 2 city portals. That is not supposed to happen, right? Is this one city, or is this 2 cities that are somehow merged together? What is the spawn rate for a very Asian city? I'm somewhat confused there. I haven't even done. I found a few structures, but I wanted more, so I flew away. And within a few blocks, I ended up in another Asian city. So apparently there are 3 cities extremely close to one another, and 2 of them are even merged. That's crazy, right? But anyhow, I got the structures that I needed, and I went back to my Asian city. I was originally going to wait a bit longer with this one, but I decided to do the center portal now. Easily the most time-consuming transformation of them all. I went through all of the outer walls and fixed them. That sure took a long time, and I thought it would be nice with some greenery right below the portal too. And the portal itself needed much more. And I tried highlighting certain spots and brightening it up more. I was not sure what to do at the bottom, but I made some water canals. I thought it was cool. And to finish off the center portal, I added a blue tinted glass in the center to simulate an active portal. I'm very happy with this, and I'm not showing you guys how it used to look before I arrived and how it looks now. What do you guys think? If you guys are happy with the result so far, please drop a like for me. Great, so now I just continued expanding the wall and I slightly moved the main structure and began restoring it. I like to think that this was used for the worship being placed. I mean, I bet the people down here in the ancient city used to be very religious. And once I was done, I moved on and placed a different destroyed structure in the corner of the city. This one looked more like a house to me, so I rebuilt it as one. You may ask yourself, why do these houses have roofs? And I think even though they're not getting rain, it's nice to have a roof. And also the dripstone. Don't let that dripping down on me. But yeah, once I was done, I made a simple but nice path. The next structure is very cool, and that is the big tower. It was actually missing from my city, and I found it while I was exploring other cities earlier. And wow, this one was basically not destroyed whatsoever, so there was a little for me to do. I only fixed a few broken parts, added lights, and added some carpet. Yeah, that was basically it. Before I tackle the next structure, I moved on and expanded the wall. I would say that the half of the city now is basically restored. That is very good. Right next to where I placed the big tower, there was a ruin. Perhaps it used to be a temple. It kind of looks like one. A very cool structure, and I love the gate in front. Once again, with everything I've done so far, I'm mostly just adding the missing blocks with some extra touches. I keep the shape and layout the same. And to finish this area here, I made a path connecting these structures to the walls. Let's just take a moment to appreciate and look at this temple. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far. Once it's done, I have a couple of other videos that you might like when I built a Jurassic Park or the Squid Game and a zoo. Something to think about. But enough of that, let's move on. There's an open space here, and I know exactly what structure I would like to have here. There's a house of some sort that you will find here in Asian City that has 2 floors. I am not sure what this would be, a hotel, a motel, or maybe just a big family house. No idea. And it wasn't in a terrible state, just a lot of scope block. So once I removed that and added the proper blocks back, I went around replacing the lanterns, fixed the balconies, and added wood flooring and carpet around. Also made the outside part a bit nicer. I guess it's a hotel, a motel, a house, a big house, who knows. Now this next structure is the biggest structure besides the portal that you can find down here in Asian City, and it's probably one of the most unique ones as well. It is a huge spa. Yes, they actually have a big spa with a pool and a hot tub. The Asian people were really enjoying life until, well, they didn't anymore. This one wasn't in too bad shape either. There's a couple of blocks that are missing, and the 2 rooms in the middle needed some work. And the outer walls, yeah, this structure apparently had very long and tall walls. I guess privacy was very important to the Asian people. Look at this, the spa quickly took shape. I actually ended up using the same big road that I had outside, and I quickly restored this barracks with the one that I restored. And at the end of the road, I added the watchtower. Well, the spa is back in business, and people can finally once again enjoy a warm bath. How about that? So this area is almost complete. I just need to connect the path and fix this wall here. I also copy and pasted one of the houses that I restored. And yeah, I think I'm finished here. Looks good. In the Asian City, there were these tiny pillars that I had somehow overlooked. So I quickly restored one and placed it next to the wheat farm and added a bunch of trees behind it. The next structure we will work on is the ice box. And it's basically just one huge freezer What their reasoning for having this is beyond me. Perhaps you guys know, but I like it. I like it being very mysterious and weird. Anyhow, I placed it in the left corner of the center portal. The general surface down here in Asian City has been very flat all around, and I don't really like that too much. So I built the icebox slightly higher up. It was maybe just the entrance that needed most attention, but I did replace the last cobblestone with it to make it look overall nicer. And once I was done with the icebox, I swapped it and pasted a big tower on the right side and a tiny pillar on the left side. And in the corner there were something there. It was a structure with just full wool, and I honestly had no idea what to do with it. At first I thought it was a wool storage, but once I actually removed the wool, I realized this was some sort of social space, because beneath all of this wool there was a bench and a campfire. Very nice. I guess this is some sort of social space. I still ended up adding some wool back, as I kind of liked having it, and because I used to have it before. We're back in the city entrance in the left corner. There was no space here, so I decided to do my own thing here and make a hill with a tiny campfire. You know, for those who want to get somewhat far away from the noise and praying, or maybe just want to go fishing or dive into the water, we can do that as well. And we're getting awful close to the end. It may have seemed fast for you guys, but I think I spent up to like 20 or 30 hours on this. And now I'm adding some of the tiny structures here in the city. I think I've covered all of them now. There are some rooms that are just random placed blocks that I honestly have no idea what they used to be. But I do imagine they were just